You know, the other night when I had a bit of time on my hands, I don't often get time on my hands, I decided to visit the religious channel. And in our house we have a whole host of religious channels that come through the air. And the first one I went to was a very popular and I suppose successful husband and wife ministry. I know there are 2 or 3 of them out there, and I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to give them any credit. And who knows, someone out there might then send them some money. But the old begging bowl attitude came again, and the host is a very successful man. He dresses very well, and he was saying, folks, things are very tight. Saints, we need you to help us. We need you to help us so much. But he said, don't listen to me. I'm going to hand you over to our financial advisor. Cut to the financial advisor. Very well-heeled man comes on and he says, things aren't too bad at the moment because, saints, we want to give you as much as we can. The Lord is coming back. The message needs to get out. But we need some money. But don't listen to me. I want to bring up one of the program controllers. And this guy came out, big Bible, what was the big Bible? And he said, you know, I've been saved 35 years, he says, but saints, I'm going to make a plea. And he brought this sort of, it wasn't a blackboard, it was one of these white board things. And on it they had a cup of coffee, a newspaper, a meal with a knife and fork. And what he said was, instead of having that 2 or 3 cups of coffees a day, just have one. And what you don't spend on the coffee, send to this ministry. Or if you buy a newspaper every day, just buy it 2 or 3 days a week and send the surplus to this ministry. And better still, if you go and have a meal 2 or 3 times a week, and that's going to cost you 10, 15, 20 pounds or $40 or whatever, send it to this ministry. Now, as regards the last 2 guys, they're both over the age of 50. So brothers, I've got news for you. It's called Get a Job. Yeah, get a job. The good news is that you guys are over 50. If you go to B&Q, KFC, 7-Eleven, they are recruiting guys of your age. Isn't this wonderful? As for the host, the very successful host on this, if you want to get your television show on the air 24/7, then I suggest that you get a job as well. Not through B&Q or 7-Eleven and those. You're far too clever for that because you set this whole thing up some years ago. But get on to Richard Branson or Alan Sugar or Donald Trump, and they have a very successful apprentice scheme. And I think that if you do that and you get a job, you will be able to get your television show out on the air, possibly 2 days or 3 days a week. But don't beg. Everybody goes to work for a wage. You don't see a barrister saying, can you send some money to help me out? You don't get a newsreader asking, goodness knows they get enough. You don't even get a road sweeper asking for it. And if you're a singer or a musician, you get paid for what you do. The labourer is worthy of his hire. He's not worthy of that begging bowl. So guys, get a job. We've all had to do it. We've all got to do it. If you want to run a television station, great. And you 2 other guys, the finance director and the program controller, mortgage your houses. Do that now, or put it in an auction. And the surplus that you've got, put into this ministry. Because if you believe in it, then you get this ministry in the air. But don't come to us begging, saying just have 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day. I mean, the next thing you're saying, instead of buying a bar of soap, you know, share a bar of soap, share a shower, something like this. I get absolutely sick of this. The early church never had this. Those guys suffered so much. And the guy who we think is probably one of the greatest Christians ever, Paul, suffered so very, very much, not only physically and health-wise, but he was hungry a lot of the time. And the Lord was hungry a lot of the time. The apostles were. We know they went through the fields one day, taking the oat buds off the wheat buds to eat and something like that. Those guys didn't have fat accounts, and they didn't go with begging bowls. So shame on you guys. So if you want to know a bit more about it, B&Q, KFC, 7-Eleven. And if someone else out there knows something, let me know, then I can tell these guys. But guys, don't beg. It's not on, it's degrading, it's unacceptable, and quite honestly, I think it's obscene. From this beautiful day here, thank you, keep praying. The Lord is coming.